back in your playing career, you played for Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
What's a lesson or two that you learned from him about leadership that's kind of carried over into what you do now?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, I had tremendous respect for Joe. I'd say a couple things. MWA, you familiar with that, Matt?
No.
It's a management principle.
Ah.
Management by wandering around.
Really? All right.
That is part of my daily strategy. But no, he actually would walk to the locker room during the week, and he'd stop and he'd talk to players. And it's a very effective management strategy. So he got to know his players, got important feedback, and you know, it's the same. I do the same thing when I walk through Lambeau Field and I talk to whether it be employees or players. You know, everybody says my office is always open. Reality is,
Get out of the office.
Yeah, well, but it's hard for people to walk into the boss's office. But when you get into their office, you'd be amazed some of the things you can find out.
Well, Ray Rhodes was in the locker room all the time, and that didn't go very well because he's playing dominoes with the guys.
Yeah.
And Ron Wolf saw that
No.
and said, forget it. And I don't see Mike in the locker room all that often, but yet Mike is very intent on developing relationships with every individual player. I know that. So I think there is something to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, obviously when you look at somebody like Joe Gibbs, to have the kind of success that he had as a head coach in the NFL, and then also have success, completely different field in terms of NASCAR.
Right.
As a manager or a leader, he's pretty extraordinary. And you know, the one thing that stood out to me is weekly goals. So really getting the team and the players to focus on goals and objectives. You know, as an old saying is, you know, you get performance in the areas you stress, and you know, so that we knew exactly what things we had to do to be successful, and it wasn't, you know, and it was a little different. Some things where you wouldn't necessarily think that would be something that a team would stress.
Won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different starting quarterbacks.
Yep.
Awfully hard to do.
Yeah.
No question about that.